there, I'm Rex King. Welcome back to another episode where I review films currently in theaters, and today I am talking about If. So, If was directed by John Krasinski and follows this girl played by Cailey Fleming named Bee, whose dad is in the hospital for routine heart surgery. She's really struggling with it, especially since she lost her mother to cancer and doesn't want to lose him too. To make things more interesting, she starts to see everyone's imaginary friends, including the ones that have been forgotten. And now, with the help of Ryan Reynolds, who plays this guy who also sees everyone's imaginary friends, she will try her best to find these misplaced ifs a new home. So, If has a lot of potential with its story and concept. The idea of lost childhood, lost innocence, because of the way things happen to you is quite evidently what the story is trying to discuss. I don't want to go into more details because I feel like I'd be getting into spoiler territory. But needless to say, the film tackles these themes very well, I feel like, when it does try to tackle them. Unfortunately, there is a teeny tiny problem in the fact that the story is kind of predictable. After you get past the initial setup, you can kind of predict exactly what's going to happen. There isn't anything in this film that you haven't seen in other fantasy films of the like. And that's kind of a disappointment because there's a lot of potential here, and if the film had gone down a more interesting route, it could have had like a different ending, it could have had a different way of telling its story, it could have been way more unique and probably an infinitely better story. What we have isn't bad by any definition of the word, it's just not as great as it could have been. This doesn't help that the characters really aren't that interesting. They try with Bee, but they don't give her enough, I feel like, of a character to really latch onto. And Ryan Reynolds' character is just a curmudgeon who is negative most of the time. Hell, honestly, Ryan Reynolds doesn't do much to his performance to really stand out here. The standout is Cailey Fleming as Bee. She takes this film on her shoulders and carries it. And for most of the runtime, she is the only one who's really doing a fantastic job. Not that everyone else is doing a bad job, it's clear that she is the standout. And then you have the visuals, and honestly this is another case that the film had a lot of interesting potential with how it uses a lot of fantasy sequences to change up the environments and tell its story. I really like those sequences. And I really like the design of the imaginary friends. I really like how creative they were. And I really enjoyed a lot of the creativity that went into this movie. The music is pretty standard. There's nothing here that you haven't heard a dozen times before. There's also like a bunch of stuff they've taken from other media and just put into this film. And it's fine. It's just nothing to write home about. If is an interesting film when you start to really think about it. The only issues with it are that it's kind of predictable and was trying really hard to hit that family market. To be honest though, I don't think it managed to do a great job at that, as this deals with a lot of higher themes that a lot of kids are not going to understand and not go into a movie for. The adults will, but they're not going to like the more mundane story that this film has. So this film is a weird gray area that I feel like they just missed the mark entirely for what it could have been. I still don't think the film is bad though. There is a lot to enjoy, and I really did have a good time breaking down this movie and starting to think about the themes that it was trying to bring up. And Cailey Fleming is a great performer in this film, and I really enjoyed her overall. So I'm going to give If a 6 out of 10. At the end of the day, it's a good time overall, but I wouldn't go out of my way to necessarily to see this. If you are planning on seeing this, your kids might not be interested in it. I honestly kind of want to say this is more for younger adults or adults who will understand what the film is trying to discuss. Anyway, that's my opinions on If. If you've seen it, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.